Alrighty, I'm on here. I'm on this live. I'm gonna give people a second to tune in. Give y'all till let's get to 1 minute to tune in. See you come in, then we're gonna get started. Alright, we at 30 seconds. Alright, we at 41. Alright. Hello everybody. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank everybody who's tuning in. Those of y'all who are going to be watching this, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Those who know me already know what's up, know who I am. But for those who don't, my name is Conscious. I'll be taking over today, taking over this live right now for my wife, just to assist her because she's not feeling well. Some stuff going on. Maybe she'll explain that to y'all with time herself. But I'm going to take over for her. So today, I want to talk to y'all. And I really want to get into it when I talk to y'all. Today, I want to get deep with it. So today, what I'm going to talk about is how even through the toughest moments, you still want to rise up. That's what I'm going to talk to y'all about. So let's get into it. Every day, we all go through something. We all go through, rather we battle with something. It don't matter what we going through, rather it is you having a bad day at work. Rather it's you're having an issue going on in your family. Rather it's something with bills. Rather it's relationships. Rather it's regular financial situations. Rather it has to deal with, grieving, your own personal stuff that you're still trying to overcome in life that you've been through and you still haven't overcome. We all go through something. We all do. We all go through this, and this is every single day. See, we always sit here and we always, think about the stuff that we do go through and we overcome. But what about the tough things that we overcome? See, this is why I'm gonna get into it deep with y'all. I'm gonna get real deep, so just make sure y'all walking with me here. Take y'all time, just follow me, right? Go the deep stuff. We don't talk about the deep stuff enough. We don't. See, the thing about it is the stuff that we go through, the tough times that we go through sometimes, it tends to be so time consuming. When I say so time consuming, it can be real time consuming. It can swallow up all your time to the point that you barely have time for anything else because you keep constantly going through so much stuff. When you're going through so much stuff, it's hard to think for yourself sometimes. Yes, we go through things and sometimes we can knock down battles. Yes, we overcome things sometimes and we knock those battles down. But overcoming those battles, they are not easy at all. It's not easy to overcome them battles. So while you battling all these things, you knock down one barrier, you can knock down one barrier. Sometimes everybody ain't comfortable handling battles by themselves. So when they go through a battle, they sit there and they go through it. They go through it. No matter how they go through it, they try to get through it. But once they go through one battle, it's like, okay, wow, I finally overcame that battle. But once they finally overcame that battle, boom, out of nowhere, here comes another one. It's like getting hit out of nowhere. It's like, it's like kind of like, how can I put it to you? It's kind of like something just smacks you out the air. It's like walking down the street and you in the summertime in the park or something and you get smacked with mosquitoes or something. It's like, pat, 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 pat. It just come like that. So when you're going through this battle, when one thing keep coming, it keep coming, one thing, another. It's hard. And like I said, when these things happen so much, and they constantly attack you. It's so time consuming. You go to work, you're at work, you're working, you know what you're doing at work, but it's hard to focus on your job because you got so much on your mind. You trying to deal with stuff at home. It's so hard to focus on what's at home because you got so much on your mind. You might be having to deal with your kids. You know, your kids might need your attention, but you can't focus right directly on your kids because you got so much on your mind. You know, or you might be out somewhere. And while you out somewhere, you might be hanging out with your friends and you just spaced out and your friends looking at you like, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Duh, duh, duh. Because you are so lost and so thinking about so much about what's going on. See, people don't realize when you go through things, it's so time consuming. You lose time for other stuff because your energy gets put into this one thing. And see, when your energy gets put into that one thing, it becomes so consuming, it becomes a part of your life. And as it consumes you, it starts to swallow you. And when it swallows you, what does that turn into? Depression. See, that's why I say I'm gonna get deep with y'all today. That's why I said that. I'm gonna get real deep with y'all. I'm gonna speak the truth. Those who know conscious know. I don't care if there's 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, 12 people on here. I'm just gonna tell it like it is because that's what I do. I speak from the heart. I ain't no prophet or none of that. But I tell people what's on my mind when my wife asks me to speak. You see this ring? When she asks me to speak, this is what I do. So let me get back to it. It becomes a point where it turns into depression. We don't even talk about depression in life enough. We go through so much in life and we battle depression. There's people every day battling depression out here, but they don't have nobody in their corner, nobody to talk to, nobody to reach out to, nobody to help them. If they do have resources, they're scared to reach out because they're afraid they're going to be judged. This is why these things become so time consuming. Depression changes you. It makes you a whole different person. It makes you somebody that you don't even recognize. You start to turn into somebody that you didn't even know that you were. You start doing things you didn't even think you would do. And that's facts. I'm just being real with y'all. You start to do things that you didn't know you can do because you become swallowed by this thing. And as time goes along, you get worse and worse with it. But let me explain something to you. The thing about it is, we don't realize that as we're going through these things, as we go through all this stuff, there's another side to it. There's always another side. There's always a side as to where when you come out in the end of all this depression, when you come out in the end of going through all this time consuming stuff, you can be victorious. You can become a better person. You can learn from it. You can become a more glorious person and you can help others to overcome these things. But see, we don't realize that because some of us are just too egotistic. And like I said, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not worried about who get offended and who don't. I'm being real. Our egos stop us from moving ahead in life. That ain't just about depression. Our egos stop us from doing a lot of things in life. There's so many things we could be doing right now in life, so many great things or places we can go, all that. But because of our egos, we backtrack. You know? We backtrack. Listen, we all go through things. Here's the thing. When we go through things, if you don't have nobody to reach out to, you have to understand that when it's just you by yourself in some type of way, there's nothing wrong with crying out to God. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with opening up your heart and asking for help. We don't ask for help enough. God, if you don't go to nobody else, if you don't have nowhere to turn, nobody to go to, if you do have somebody to go to, but you're scared to reach out, there's nothing wrong with asking God for help. Help with getting through something. Because see, all that darkness that comes, sometimes that's just darkness that comes from the devil. The devil. When I get on here, I like to be real. You know what I'm saying? When y'all see me, I'm not always going to talk about God and the devil. Sometimes I'm just going to talk about regular stuff. But a lot of times my stuff do apply to the difference between God and the devil because I understand that side because I've been on both sides in my life, period. No matter what I'm talking about, go back and watch the lives that I'm on. And you'll see that I'm speaking about my life in different kind of ways. Listen, at the end of the day, your whole life, everybody has a story to tell. We all got different stories. Everybody got a different story to tell. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your experience is. Everybody has a different story to tell. When you have a different story to tell, understand this. With every story that a person has comes something with it. A different background, a different situation. So with a different background, different situation, a lot of times in that story, in order to get to where you want, to the end of the story, you have to hear about what they went through, what they went through. So when you go through these things, you gotta understand from the beginning, you carry darkness with you. The things that you see growing up makes you become a different person. The things that you are exposed to makes you a different person. You go through these things, it could destroy you more and more and more. You don't want to constantly allow that. Like I said, let me tell you something. Some people start doing drugs. I'm not just talking about no regular drug. I'm not just talking about a little marijuana where you sit there, you smoke the trees, you hit the gas, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking, some people start drinking real heavy. I ain't talking about just no regular drinking. I'm talking about some serious drinking. Have serious drinking, they become serious drinking problems. Some people be out here just having sex, just getting busy. Every time they get a nut off, boom, they right back trying to get another one because that's their high. They're trying to find ways to deal with this darkness. They're trying to find ways to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Some people do other things. But the point is, everybody's trying to find an outlet to deal with the darkness, but nobody really knows sometimes nobody really knows that there's other ways out of this. This is why it's important to turn to God. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all. I've been through a lot in my life. My life wasn't easy growing up. Those who know me know my story, but I'm going to tell a little something to somebody that don't. Growing up, when I was in these streets. And I had to start off young. When I was in these streets, I was out here getting in trouble. I was doing it all. I was doing everything that I had to do to survive, to make sure that my family was straight. I'm taking care of my moms. I'm taking care of my brother. I'm taking care of my sister. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing all these things and I'm young. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here at one point taking from the store. I'm doing whatever. I'm hustling. I got into hustling, all kind of stuff. I'm doing all these different things to survive. I'm creating my own darkness. And see, the more deeper I got into those streets, the more they started to swallow me. And as the streets are swallowing me, and they pulling me. It's like a rope. It's constantly just pulling me. It's pulling me more and more and more. I'm getting in deeper and deeper and doing more and more things. I started to become somebody I didn't recognize. Because I did a lot of things. And the things that I did a lot. And I hurt a lot of people doing it when I was in them streets. Like I said, I became somebody I didn't recognize. And that led to me down the road of depression. All the losses I took, I had more losses than I did gains. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about from an emotional standpoint. I lost so many friends, I can't even tell you how many. It's too many. I got shoe boxes full of obituaries. People that I go to funerals. I see people one last time. Once that casket closed, I never see them again. That bothers me. That still stays with me. I'm still attending funerals now. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Things change you. These type of things really will change a person. I'm just speaking from my experience. I can't speak for y'all. I can only speak for myself and hope that y'all get something out of what I'm saying. Because in the end of the day, I don't have to do this. I'm doing this because I care about because I really, really, really care about y'all and I care about a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to help somebody today. So if you hear me or you don't, let's see, you say, glad to see you, brother C and sister Ashley. Thank you, Letitia. Hey, it's Trigger. Change my hand. Glad it came to be God. Hey, Trigger, what's up? So like I was saying, so being in the streets, it did a lot to me. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I consumed a lot of my time of my life in the streets. I could have been doing something else. All this darkness that I carried with me, it changed me. I was out here, when I'm going through all these things, I was smoking trees. I'm smoking weed. I smoked a lot of marijuana. I'm not going to say how much marijuana I was buying. You know what I'm saying? Or how much marijuana I was smoking. But I smoked a lot of weed to deal with the stress of me being in that life at that time. You know what I'm saying? When I got out the streets for a minute, I smoked a lot of weed. On top of me doing that, before I even got married, I was out here doing what I was doing. smashing different women, doing whatever, any type of way to get the aggression off. That's what I was into. That's because I was using different things to occupy my time. It was time consuming. This is what I'm saying. I didn't look at it like, oh, I could do something better with my life. I never looked at it like I could be out here doing this, that, the third. Then when I went through certain things, other things that had nothing to do with the streets, I didn't know what else to do. I wasn't out here looking for a helping hand. I wasn't trying to go get counseling. That was my problem. When I knew I should have went and got counseling when I was dealing with other things in the streets, I wasn't going to get counseling. When I knew I could have talked to somebody because I had an open ear, I was being too egotistic and prideful to even go to somebody. Everybody has at least one person they can trust. Yeah, the world can be a shady place. We all know the world can be a shady place these days. But the world has always been shady since we came into it. You gotta lean on somebody. Somebody at some point. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody that you can trust. You have to take a chance on somebody if you can trust them. It's up to them to take that info and help you and try to uplift you, or to take that info and use it against you. But how will you know if you could be better if you don't trust somebody? Whether it's a therapist or a friend or a family member, you have to trust somebody. I didn't, and that was my problem. If you can't trust any of those other things, you have to trust God. You have to. This is the thing. So many people go through these things so much, and there's so many battles that they continue to face. They feel like it becomes a weight. It becomes so heavy that it's like almost like a heartbeat. It's like your heartbeat, boom, 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 boom. Just like your heartbeat, that's how depression is. It constantly just keep boom, 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 boom. And it gets to a point that it starts beating so fast it feels like you can't breathe. You're so consumed with the stress, you're so consumed with the depression, you can barely get anything out of you. You don't have no room to breathe. You have no life because this is all your life is about. Yeah, you're moving physically in the world, but mentally are you moving that way in the world? See, that's the thing. People dying every day because of depression. People dying every day because of stress. Because they feel like there's no way out. There is no other way. There's people out here really losing their lives. I'm going to tell y'all something. And I'm going to get deep with y'all today, right? I'm going to be real. Those, like I said, I say it a lot, but y'all got to rock with me because I'm being, like I said, I only keep it real. Those who know me on this live, who's been here before with me, know I'm not afraid to tell the truth about my life. But every time I tell y'all something different. But I don't always get too deep. I try to tell y'all one thing about my life at a time, a particle. That's how it relates. So I'm going to get deep with y'all today, and I'm going to tell y'all something about my life. Just hear me out. One point in time, I've been on that side. Okay? I've been on that side of been going through depression and feeling like it's too much. What am I saying? I'm about to break it down to y'all. Let me tell you something. This was back about, let's see, 2016, 2017. Yeah, this is about 2018. It's going on 19. Going into 2019 almost. What happened was I was dealing with a lot. I lost a lot of friends. I was going through a lot with my family. On top of that, I didn't know who to trust in the streets no more. This is around the years when the streets were starting to get twisted. When people wasn't playing by the rules, ain't no loyalty. I mean, that was going on before, but it got worse at the time. Like I said, my homies were starting to change. I didn't know who to trust. I was going through so much, I felt like all I had was myself. Then on top of that, I'm trying to be a father. I was dealing with child support, courts. I was dealing with a lot of other different things. You see what I'm saying? I had a lot of stuff stacking on my plate at once. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no love in my life. You know what I'm saying? Not no real genuine love. You know what I'm saying? I was going through so many different things that it was just swallowing me. It's like every time I trying to knock down one problem, here come another barrier. Boom. Every time I'm walking over one hill, here come another hill. So I'm constantly walking. I'm walking so high to the point that my legs starting to hurt on the hills. Okay, that's the example I'm gonna use. A hill. I'm walking up the hill so high that my legs are starting to hurt on the hill. God is here for me. God is here for me. But I'm not trying to hear God, okay? I'm going through so much. I'm not even thinking about how God can be there for me. I'm not trying to hear nothing or nobody. I'm just sitting there trying to handle things, thinking I'm the big dog, thinking I got it. Not even looking. Like I said at the time, smoking a lot of marijuana, onto marijuana, consuming my mind, doing this, doing that, making me more paranoid. I'm going through this, I'm going through that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I'm still in the streets. Still dealing with that. So while I'm going through all these things, I get to a point where I'm sitting down and I'm really thinking, and I'm thinking more and more and more and more. And as I'm sitting down at this one time, out of nowhere, this dark spirit just started to consume me. It just started to me. It just felt like it took over out of nowhere and said, "You can end it all." You know what I'm saying? It really was. It felt like that at one point because I heard that voice like, "Go." So I'm like, just not like I said. I'm not thinking too hard on it because I'm at the time in my mind. I don't really have control of the situation. I'm so lost. I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking, I'm liking the darkness. I'm like, oh yeah, I could, woo, woo, woo. I'm like, I ain't got nothing. I don't care about nothing. I'm whatever. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking through this. I'm walking. I done left out the house. Okay. I got my phone on me. Okay. Back when going live on Facebook was popular. Okay. This back before they had the heavy Instagram lives and all that. This back on Facebook. Everybody would get on Facebook and you could talk to everybody and blah blah blah. So I get on Facebook Live, so I'm leaving out. But before I left out, when I'm leaving out the house or whatever, right? And I'm going live on Facebook, I start breaking down out of nowhere, crying. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where it came from. There's so much anger in me. I start crying. You know what I'm saying? I start breaking down, really breaking down, going through. So I'm breaking down. Boom. I'm crying heavy. Now, it's hard to make me cry. It's really hard to make me cry. I don't cry for nobody. I'm gonna be real with y'all. The last time I remember even really crying, the last time I really cried is when they closed my cousin Wacker casket. Ever since they closed my cousin casket, I haven't cried since. It's real hard to make me cry. Then, like I said, it's real hard to make me cry. I haven't really cried heavy since. I cried one time other than that, and that was in front of my wife when me and her had a conversation, and I broke down a lot of things, but I didn't cry heavy. But that was the last time I really cried heavy. So on this day back then, back to the point, I cried heavy on this day, and I'm talking about I cried so hard that I cried for like an hour. Okay, so I'm crying for like 30 minutes before I even leave out the door. Then I'm leaving out the door. I got my phone on me. I go live, okay? Out of nowhere. I didn't think twice about it. I just get on Facebook, boom, push the live button. I ain't even think, oh, let me find out. Let me try to schedule this live. None of that. No, boom. I just get my phone out, boom, push live. I'm going live. I'm on there walking, just walking down the street. Good afternoon. Hello, Ghetto Flowers. So yeah, I'm walking down the street. Thank you for tuning in. You're going to like this live. So I'm walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? While I'm walking down the street and I'm crying, I'm sitting and I'm telling people like, oh, I hate this life, f this life, forget this. You know what I'm saying? I've done so many things in the streets and I hurt so many people. I don't care nothing about nothing. I don't deserve to be here. I don't want to live like I'm hurting. I'm crying. I'm breaking down. You know what I'm saying? Most people might see that as, oh, he's just looking for attention, or oh, you know what I'm saying? He did. See, that's a lot of problems with people. People will see a problem and they don't want to address it. You know what I'm saying? So people probably at the time was looking at it like, oh, he just want attention, but no, I was really crying out for help. I was really letting people know I was no longer gonna be here. So follow me. I'm walking down the street. So I'm taking a long walk, right? And I got something with me to end it all. I got something on me. I ain't gonna go into detail, but I got something on me to end it all. So boom, I'm walking and I get to this point where I come across this bridge, right? So it's a little area where I come across. Boom, I finally walk. I come across this bridge. So I see the bridge and I stand there, right? So when I get to this bridge, I'm standing there and I'm just thinking like, I'm comfortable there, crying, breaking down on live. Boom. I ended up, I don't know what happened, but for some reason, somehow, it must have been God. I'm not gonna hold y'all. It must have been God because out of nowhere, my live wasn't even working. It just stopped. It wasn't working. My phone, I tried to go back live, it wouldn't work. So it must have been God trying to save me or something. That's why I said God has a plan for me. My live wasn't working. I couldn't get it to work for nothing. So I'm sitting there breaking down, boom, I got something on me, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Continuing on with the story. I don't want to get too deep into detail about that. But like I said, so I'm thinking to myself, and at that point, I'm ready to end it all. I'm trying to end it. And right as soon as I'm dead and I'm about to do it, I get a phone call out of nowhere. And this is the phone now. Now Facebook Live used to tell you back then who was on there. So this person who called me was not on my Facebook Live, had no idea about nothing. It was just somebody who was reaching out to see if I'm all right, just to check on me on some regular checking up on me stuff. Hit my phone like, what's going on? You breaking down? You all right? You good? Like, no, I'm not good, man. F this, I'm going off. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going through this, he tell me, he like, look, man, you got something to live for. I don't know what it is you got to live for, but I see it in you. You gonna be somebody. You got something to live for. You got kids and everything. He said, I think you're gonna be something great. He said, I see it in you. I know how you carry yourself. You different. You built different. Look at what you survived through. The surgeries, the streets, all that. He's like, he just breaking it down to me. He like, Slim, this ain't the way. This ain't the end right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, I'm listening to him, and I'm starting to rethink this whole situation. You know, when he told me that, he talked to me as long as I needed to talk. I talked to him for an hour. I ended the call. So again, I'm back by myself, and I think to myself, I say, God, you know what? I said, you got it, man. I said, you got it. I promise you, I'm going to live from now on. And ever since that moment, I've never, ever in my life, and I'm only going to talk about this one time on here. One time. Y'all won't hear me talk about this again. This is as deep as I get with it. That is the only time I ever tried to end it all. That's the only time I ever tried to go through suicide. So the reason, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is why I wanted to do this live, because it came on my heart to tell my story to help somebody. Somebody on this live right now is going through something or know somebody who might be trying to end it all. Somebody's going to hear about something about somebody who tried to end it all, or somebody's going to have somebody who did end it all. This live right here, God wanted me to do it because something that I'm telling y'all might save somebody. Check on your loved ones, man. We don't do that enough. We do not do that enough. We don't check on our loved ones enough. We don't check on our friends enough. The ones, I'm not talking about the associates, the ones who we pop bottles with and go to the club with, or every now and then they want to be fake when they want. I'm talking about the ones who we genuinely got in our corner, the real friends. We don't check on them enough. Who cares if they don't call you? Sometimes call them. Yeah, sometimes it is a two-way street. I agree with that, but sometimes be the bigger person. Because if something happens to them, you're going to be lost. You gotta love people while they here, not when they leave. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong being a bigger person. We don't check on our parents enough. Our parents could be getting sick and we don't know. How would you know if you don't call your parents? If you got your mother here, check on your mother more. You got your father here, check on your father. If you have your parents and you blessed to have them, check on them. If you don't have them, they somewhere in heaven watching over you. Talk to them. You can check them spiritually. They hear you. They with you at every step of the way. We don't check up on anybody else enough. You know what I'm saying? We don't check on the cousins. All that. We don't do that enough. Check on the people that you love. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what they're going through. You never know what they're going through. That one phone call that you make to them don't even have to be no hour conversation, no 2-hour conversation, none of that. Just the fact that you even considered to call them when nobody else did at the moment could have saved their life right now as we speak. If not right now, later on, as we speak, it can save their life. My dad ended it all in 2009. I'm wondering if that spirit tried to creep up on me sometimes, like for sure. Yeah, Ghetto Flower. Wow. God must have really wanted me to do this live today. Yeah, Ghetto Flower. I'm sorry for your loss and the fact that you lost your father. You know, I take stuff like this very, very seriously. You know, I don't play around with this, especially a subject like this. I understand. I can relate. Like I said, I've been there. That dark spirit, if it's creeping up on you, only you know. I can't tell you from where I'm at right now if it's creeping up on you. I'm not like my wife. I can't feel energies and everything. But what I can tell you is the fact that you said you're wondering if it's creeping up on you. It can try. It'll creep up on anybody. It don't even have to be you. It could be anybody. But the fact, if you know it's trying to creep up on you, please don't hesitate to reach out to somebody you can trust. If you can't trust nobody, reach out to God. Talk to somebody. Don't let that spirit consume you. Don't let it swallow you. Because when it do, you can't come back from that. You go into a place that you can't return from. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to experience what I had to experience. I was very blessed that God spared my life. He actually made it as to where that live that I was on stopped, and he sent somebody through a phone call for me. I was lucky to have that, but everybody don't get that lucky. So please, if you know it's trying to creep up on you, stop that. Stop that spirit from creeping up on you. Do everything you can to prevent it, and you'll overcome it. Life is very short, and you don't get no redos in this life. You only get one. You only get one life. It's not like this. Ain't like no video games. That's what a lot of people don't realize. People take life for granted. You know what I'm saying? The things that we take for granted, there's people right now who's in spirit that can hear us. You know what I'm saying? That's around us, spirits. There's people who wish they can get a redo. I know a lot. I've seen a lot of stuff in the streets. And I'm not just talking to you, Ghetto Flow. I'm talking to everybody who on this live and anybody who gonna watch this live later. I've seen a lot of people on these streets who passed away, and sometimes in the last moments, and I've heard stories too from people I know. In the last moments, a lot of people say, I gotta fight, I gotta fight. I wish I could redo just one more chance, but they don't get that next chance. Life is very short. You don't get to, like I said, you don't get to push the restart button. You don't get to reboot. Like in a video game, when it's like dun dun dun, like on Super Mario, the dun 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 dun. You get to you end up losing. It be like, and it be like game over, dun dun dun. And then you can sit there and try to restart and go back to the same level that you was doing with Mario. Go play the big boss again. When it come down to this life, we don't get to do that again. You only get one shot at life. That's it. Once it's over, that's it. It's lights out. It's no restarting. You won't come back from that. So we got to appreciate life while we here. We don't appreciate life enough while we here. People complain. And this is the thing. See, I'm not here to judge nobody. Again, I'm just here to tell my truth and reach somebody. That's all I'm here to do. While I'm on this live, I'm gonna tell the truth and reach somebody. When I get off this live, I'm gonna annoy my wife to death because that's what I do. I annoy her to death with the truth. She know that. She know I tell her the truth even when she don't like it. That's what I do. I just tell her like it is. Because in the end of the day, my goal is to help and reach somebody. This is the thing. I don't get it. But I don't judge. I'm not here to judge nobody, and I won't judge nobody because I don't even want nobody judging me. Who can judge anybody? Only you can walk in your shoes. Who am I to judge you? I'm not walking y'all shoes. Who are you to judge me? You ain't walking mine, right? So in the end of the day, I'm not gonna judge. But let me tell y'all something. I just don't get it. Because I've been this person, and this is why I don't get it now. You know what I'm saying? We complain so much. I remember back then, I remember back when I was in the streets, I used to complain so much. That's why I did a lot of bad things. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't got no new shoes. Everybody wearing the Jordans. I wanted the Jordans. I wanted the Nikes. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the Timberlands in the winter. I wanted, you know what I'm saying? I wanted the chain. I wanted to, have money. I wanted to be able to go forget eating oodles and noodles. You know what I'm saying? Forget eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Forget eating this and that. I wanted to eat curry out, McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? The stuff like all the fast food stuff. Again, complaining. But my mother did the best she could. I had food in the house. Well, we was hurting, but we wasn't hurting too bad. We was struggling with bills. Yeah, my mom cried sometimes, but she always made a way. But my thing was, I wasn't with none of that. Because, again, all I did was complain. Walk with me for a second. Stay on track with me, y'all. We gonna get back to the point of where I was talking about with depression, but right now I'm gonna tell y'all about something different. Those who know me know I travel. This is how I do. I travel. I'm telling y'all like it is. Whatever God put it on my mind, I'm gonna say it. If you rocking with it, you don't. Like I said, I complained. I had certain things. No, I didn't at the time. Maybe my mom didn't buy me Jordans. Maybe I had the Shacks. But I had shoes on my feet. I wasn't dirty. My mother made sure I stayed fresh from head to toe. I always had a fresh coat to go with my shoes. Red coat, red shoes, you name it. I had those things. Might not have been the best brand, but I had it. You know what I'm saying? I might not have had the McDonald's and all that, but I had the oodles and noodles in the house. I had the peanut butter and jelly. I had the little, bit of chickens and stuff. But me, being and seeing all this other stuff and what everybody else had and all this stuff, I wanted more. It's like that. That's the thing. We complain. We get so, not only do we get consumed by depression in life, but we get consumed by greed. What I was looking at, that's a sign of greed. So I'm saying, not appreciating what you have, but wanting more. That's being greedy. Like I said, bills was paid. Yeah, my mom went through some things. Yes, she did. But with the light bill, when it cut off, she always found a way to get it back on. You know know what I'm saying? People in my neighborhood struggle worse than I did. People used to come to my house. My house was the hangout. I had the video games and all this. My mom might have struggled, but nobody knew it. You wouldn't know it. Only I knew, because I know what I saw. But again, greed consumed me. That's the thing. I spent a lot of time complaining. And then as I got older and I was in the streets and I was out here and I was in the streets at that time too. But I'm saying, as I continued on in the streets, I still complained. That's why I still did it, because I made excuses like, I gotta have this. I gotta have that. I gotta have this. Instead of me sitting back and thinking like, oh, I can go and get a 9 to 5. At this point, like, I got to a point where I'm up in age. I could be like, oh, I could go get a 9 to 5. I don't gotta be out here doing blah 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 blah. Cause I ain't get deep into the streets until I was like in my late 20s. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was already in the streets hanging out, but I wasn't really into no serious deep stuff. I made moves every now and then, but I got real deep in my 20s. So in my 20s, I could have been like, I could go get a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? I could do this and do that, but I wasn't trying to do that. I was looking at it like, a 9 to 5. That's for simps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just looking at it like that. Again, this is what I mean by not appreciating what you had. I could have went and worked a 9 to 5 like somebody else and just made money and paid my bills and stayed out the way and would have been fine. I could appreciate what I had and been fine growing up. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm so concerned with not being grateful enough for what I had in front of me. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. We don't appreciate the thing. Some of y'all got a car right now. Yeah, your car ain't the best car. Sometimes it break down, but your car get you from point A to B. Why are you complaining? Some people out here wish they had a car. They wish they had the problem you had. Yeah, they wish they had a car that start up every once in a while compared to not being able to go at all. At least your car gets you back and forth every day, even though it has its complications. Why are you complaining? You got some people out here who wish that they had the type of job that you had. You might got a government job. Yeah, you got a terrible boss. Yeah, your boss get on your nerves. But guess what? You make good money doing what you do, and you're good at what you do. Why are you complaining? You got people that can't even get a government job. They got degrees. People that went to college and did years and years and years of college and still paying off a debt right now to student loans. And can't even get a job in the government, but you got one. Why are you complaining? This is what I'm saying. We complain too much. You might live in a rough neighborhood because you just now trying to get back or whatever, got a roof, but this going on, that's going on, might not be the type of house, might not be the luxury life or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe you was just in a situation, you left somebody, now you on your own, so you starting over, got a place or whatever, might not be the glorious of what you had, but you got a roof over your head. Why are you complaining? There's people out here that's sleeping on the street right now. Ain't got no roof over their head. Not because they want to sleep on the street, because they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. And it's freezing out here. You warm every day. You good. Why are you complaining? So the point I'm trying to make to y'all is appreciate life more. Appreciate the blessings that's in front of you. When you wake up in the morning, thank God for what he has provided for you and laid out for you. It might not be the most luxurious of everything in the world. It might not be the best of the best, but you have something to be grateful for. Appreciate that. Focus on those things. Focus on the fact that you got a loving family. You're married, you got a loving family, focus on that. If you're not married, you're single, but you got kids that love you, appreciate that. You're surrounded by love. Some people ain't surrounded by love at all. Be thankful for what you had. And tell God thank you. Because as fast, I've told y'all this before in lives, as fast as God giveth, when he gives you something, God will take it away. Let's be real. God will take it away from you. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm just being real. So appreciate what you had. Never sit around and take nothing for granted. And never play around with it neither. And if you're in positions to bless others in every type of way that you can. You don't always have to bless somebody financially. Sometimes giving somebody advice is a blessing. Sometimes listening to somebody is a blessing. Some people just need a listening ear, even if they don't know you like that. No matter if y'all sitting on the bus. I had somebody come up to me and vent to me out of nowhere on the bus. I'm sitting there minding my business. They come sit down angry and it's like, man, this happened and this person got on my nerves and vented to me and all that, and they got off the bus feeling better. Sometimes people just need a listening ear. Don't hurt to listen. Where you going? You got about an hour before you get to work. for that bus ride over. So the point I'm trying to make to y'all is take the blessings you have and appreciate those. Focus on that. Stop complaining. You know what I'm saying? Try to find more things to make a positive than a negative. This is what I mean by you can be victorious in the end. This is what I was talking about. If y'all look back at the subject, this is me getting towards. I'm starting to get near the end of this live here. I'm getting a little more closer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like I said, just God's talking through me. So God won't tell me when the end is live. Listen, this is what I mean at the end. This is what I mean towards the subject. When I say this victorious in the end, the way that you become victorious through all the things of depression, the way you become victorious when you're going through something, the way that you overcome it is you try to take your negatives and you do the best you can to make them into positive. You make the best way to make anything negative into a positive is to do the best you can to stay positive through the day. That's the best way that you do it. You overcome everything by being positive. Instead of you complaining about what you're going through and what the problem is, focus on trying to think about the positive things and doing something positive with that to try to help make that negative into a positive. We don't always have the answers. We can't always knock things down all the time at once, but you can knock down one barrier at a time. You can get through whatever you go through if you just turn a negative into a positive. Focus more on the positivity. We don't focus on the positivity enough. That's just like situations with the world itself in the news now. Look at the news. What do the news mostly focus on? Yes, I told y'all I'm a deep person. This is who I am. I know y'all like, oh gosh, what the news got to do with it? Conscious, what are you talking about? You just losing me here. No, stay with me, y'all. Follow me. I'm gonna get y'all on track. Y'all gonna understand. Everything I say connects. Everything I say makes sense. I don't just talk just to talk. I'm real careful about what I say and how I say it. But listen, follow me. Like I said, like this news, like the news. Look at the news. When you look at the news, I don't care what town or city you from or what state. When you look at the news, sit down and watch it. If you don't watch the news, somebody on this live right now who don't watch the news, do me a favor when you end this live today, if you can, watch the news. Just this one time. Not ask you to do it all year round, not ask you to watch the news every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking you this one time. When you get off this live, if you got time, watch the news. If you watch the news, you'll see. Oh, most of the stuff that they report is the negative. There's so much positivity going on in your town. So much positivity going on around you. But they're not going to tell you too much about the positive. Because they want to tell you about the negative. Why I always got to focus on the negative? Because, see, that's the thing. News is all about programming. See, this is the thing. When it comes down to negativity and positivity, it's a programming thing, okay? And I'm talking about in life too, period. It's a programming situation. Like I said, how's this a programming situation? I know y'all probably wondering. Again, I break everything down to y'all. Let me tell you, darkness and light is a programming situation in life because if you get consumed by darkness, darkness causes you to go this way. So when you walk into the darkness, you start to do dark things. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're going in this, you're going there. You consume, you're not focused, you're not being a person that you're supposed to be, you're not striving to be great. That's why the darkness is so consuming. Why is the light also programming? The light is also programming because when you focus on the positive thing, that's all you want to do is what's positive. Like I said, all you want to do is what's positive. All you want to do is do things that can help make the world a better place. Do things that help make your life way better. Do things that help others. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I said it's like programming. I don't care how you take it. Just know at the end of the day, it's all programming. I'm not talking about programming like it was typed into the computer and they said boom and pushed the key and everybody started acting different. That's not what I mean. No. When I say programming, I'm just saying that the way that the mind frame is based on certain situations is like a program. Okay? It's up to us to determine what type of programming that's going to be. We have to determine that. Nobody else can determine it for us. Like I said earlier, when I was talking about judgment, I can't walk in your shoes and you can't walk in mine. That's the thing. Nobody can walk anybody's life. You have to walk it. Only you can. So you have to make the choice about whether you want to do the right thing or the wrong thing. Whether you're going to let the darkness consume you or you're going to overcome it. You have to make that choice. But one of the ways that you do that, I'm telling you, the best way to start, For those who are on here, the best way to start is no better way to start to overcome these things than to reach out to God. I'm telling y'all, God is the healer. He's the king. He's the almighty ruler. I put God in a lot of things I talk about because God brought me through so much, y'all. He really has. I'm a living testimony. This is the thing. People talk about God a lot. Matter of fact, I hear people a lot say they don't believe in God. Well, I hear a lot of people say believe in God, but they just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like when somebody come to them and tell them about God, they look at it like, oh, that's because they go to church. Oh, that's because they do this, they do that. They just gotta say that. You know, they ain't no. I'm really a living testimony. I'm living proof, okay? I'm real live living proof that God is real. I'm real live living proof that God has your back when you think nobody else does. I've been in so many situations and God has been there for me. That's why when I go to somebody and I tell them about God, when they talking to me about something, you know, I also make sure I tell them when it's all said and done. I'm a living testimony. I'm not just telling you this. I break the situations down to them so they know. That's what I'm telling y'all. Go to God. God is the healer. He's the king. He's the ruler. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to God. Don't be too prideful. God hears you. You just have to reach out to him, talk to him, and you have to trust him. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Hey, buddy. Hey, let's go to work tomorrow. All right, son. Go in with mom. You put your stuff up. Put your stuff up. Go in with mom real quick. What? What's going on? I'm on live right now. Go in with mom real quick. I'll see you in a second. We finished talking real quick. Love you. I love you, buddy. Close the door. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. My son just came home. He had a half a day today, so I had to make sure I had to get him off the bus and stuff. But like I said, let me see. Okay. Like I said, I'm a living testimony. Okay, I've been in situations. I've been through a lot, and God's helped me through so much. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for God. This is one of the reasons why I shared my story with y'all when I just told y'all about my story of walking through depression, walking through a situation where I almost took my own life. Had God not been there, had I survived that, God saved me when I didn't even think that he would. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. God is us when we don't think he hears us. All you have to do is open up your heart and ask for help. When you open up your heart and you ask for help, you have to trust him. You can't just go to God when things are good. You can't just be like, God this, God that. You know what I'm saying? You can't, what I'm saying? You can't just go to things. You got to go to God when things are bad. When you down and you're going through it, you got to talk to God day by day. When things get better for you, you got to thank God for the fact that it got better, but you have to stay in tune with God. You have to keep talking to God. Keep that bond and keep that relationship with God. You have to stay going forward through God. God will help you. You're not alone. You're never alone. This is the thing. When you go through things, you got to realize you're not alone. And then there's other ways out here. See, this is the thing. There's groups out here for people that go through depression. There's groups, there's people out here going through exactly what you're going through. All you have to do is take the first step and be willing to go get into the group. Some people too prideful. Put your pride to the side. I don't care if you put your pride to the side to talk to God, or you put your pride to the side to get into a group. I don't care if you put your pride to the side to talk to a friend. Put your pride to the side and go and get help from somebody. You don't have to walk through that alone. At the end of the day, we feel like we're not strong enough. We can't, you be like, oh, I tried doing this, I tried doing that, but it's too much. No, we're stronger than we give ourselves credit for. You just have to see it in your heart and build that up. The way that you build it up is you take your time. You can't overwalk everything all at once. You can't overwalk things overnight. But if you keep on trying, you can be successful. You know, Aaliyah even said it at one point in her song. First, you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. That's a real factor, real factor. That's a real statement right there. You have to keep on trying. Stop getting stuck on the factor of I can't. Stop using that word. Don't keep, matter of fact, those who on this live right now with me right now, who still here, today I want y'all to say that I can. Don't say I can't. Today's word is I can. That's what God is telling me to tell y'all. Today's word is going to be I can. I can do what I thought I was going to do. I will do what I said I'm going to do. No more I can't. No more. No more. Live your life off of I can. Don't get, if you make a mistake along the way, keep going. Rise up. But keep staying focused on the I can. Motivate yourself when others don't motivate you. Be your own motivator. Be your own provider. Be your own winner. You can win. This is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. You can come out on the other side. That's why it's important to make sure that you say I can, because you can and you will. If you're down right now and you feel like you ain't going to be able to pay your bills, you will pay your bills. If you're going through something and you feel like nobody has your back, you will overcome that situation. If you feel like that you're not going to make it out, you're trapped in a situation that's scaring you to death, you are going to make it out that situation. You know, you will. Today, I can is the word. If you feel like that you're not going to be somebody that you think you're going to be, or people told you that you wasn't never going to be that person, you will become that person. You're going to be that person. Today's word again is I can. I cannot stress this to y'all enough. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Today's word is going to be I can. When you get off of this lab, I want y'all to keep that with y'all. I can. That's what I want y'all to keep on saying day by day. I want y'all to take that. If you don't take nothing else I'm saying with y'all today, take that with y'all. I can. And you will. I guarantee you that you will. No more I can'ts. We spend life too much making excuses. God don't want us to make excuses. We wasn't put in this world to make excuses. We was put in this world to accomplish whatever we can while we're here. We all have a clock. Everybody has a clock. From the time you come, there's a time you come into this world and there's a time that you leave. So you have to make the best out of what you have while you're here. I can, and you will accomplish those things. Whatever it is you're trying to do, you're going to do it. So like I said, from now on, the word is I can. No more excuses. No more excuses. I know y'all probably like, I don't make excuses. I get up, go to work. I do this every day. Ain't no way. I know I'm not lazy. I don't make excuses. Let me tell you something. Just because you go to work every day, don't mean you don't make excuses. Just because you do things as a parent, don't mean you don't make excuses. Just because your life is a certain way, doesn't mean you don't make excuses. A lot of people make more excuses than you think. So, I'm good for right now. Thank you, though. Here, get your bowl. My son. As y'all know, I'm a parent. You know how they go. But, you know, as I said before, you know, we all got these situations we go through, and everybody feel like just because they work, because they do this and do that, they don't make excuses. But a lot of y'all do make excuses. And that's why a lot of y'all don't get ahead in life. Y'all too busy thinking about what you can't do or what's in the middle of it. Y'all too big. Y'all might be moving on this side of it, but in the middle there's this barrier, and then there's the other side, which is the successful end. But where the barrier is that's the excuse that you're making. While you're moving on this side, you got the barrier, and you're too busy standing stuck in the barrier, because that's excuses. Like I said, stop using the excuses. The word is not I can't. The word is I can. You're not going to stay stuck on them excuses. We're not going to stay focused on that. You're going to overcome them excuses. You're going to win. I'm going to tell y'all, you're a winner. I'm not going to just sit here and just talk. No, I'm going to motivate y'all. There's nothing wrong with me being motivated. This is what God wants me to do. I'm just doing what God asking me to do. I'm going to motivate y'all. Yeah, you hear me talking to y'all like I'm a motivator. Like, why you keep saying I can't? Because in the end of the day, that's what God's telling me to tell y'all. Something that I'm saying today on this whole live, the motivational half, or is me telling my story, rather it was the part of me doing something else. Something I'm telling somebody on this live today is saving somebody. If it ain't save somebody, something I'm saying on this live today is helping somebody, and it's going to help the next person. So yes, I'm going to do what he said. Like I said, I can, and that's what you're going to do. No more excuses. Live your life the best way that you can, okay? Like I said, love others, even when they don't, even when it seems like others don't love you. That don't mean that you can't love them. We spend too much time in life hating people. We do it. We have a lot of hatred in our hearts. Us as human beings, that's another thing that's wrong with us. We spend a lot of time dealing with hatred, full of hatred. It's like, I can't stand that person. You know what I'm saying? Because of one, it could be the littlest situation. We sit there and we look at the small things instead of the big things. We make issues out of the smallest stuff. We get mad at people over the smallest things that they do, and then it don't even be worth it. It don't even be worth it. And at the end of the day, something happened to them, we be stuck. We be looking, we be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? You look back, you be like, I wish I could have talked to them and understood why that happened and stuff like that. Don't wait until they're no longer here to do that. Don't wait until that time comes. Do it now. Call that person, figure it out. If you can fix a situation, no matter if it's with a family member, a friend, whoever, if you can fix something, go and fix it while it's fixable. Don't sit there and make excuses or keep on using that little situation. We use little birds for why we get mad at people. We cut off family members. Some of us cut our own parents off over small stuff. And it don't even be worth it. And our parents be needing us. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as they get sick or something happens, we be the first ones whining or boo-hooing and all that stuff and da-da-da-da. No. Don't wait until later to go do that. Do it now. Don't trip off the small things in life. Like I said, there's so many people in life who wish they can go back and start over. There's so many people who wish they could continue their life on that didn't continue their life on. You still here. You know what I'm saying? You got people right now. Somebody didn't even wake up this morning. Somebody didn't even get to open their eyes. Somebody went to sleep last night and didn't open their eyes. You did. Be grateful. Appreciate that. Take that to heart. Like I said, appreciate the small things. Stop tripping off of little stuff. Just because you go through something that's small, or just because something happens with somebody that's small, doesn't mean you have to allow that to consume you. Doesn't mean that you have to allow that to be your life or allow that to be your situation. If you can forgive somebody, if it's not that big, then forgive them. Cool Gent. Cool Gent, what's up, man? How you doing, man? It's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. You know, but definitely, I'm gonna get up off here in a minute. But Cool Gent, definitely, you should go back and watch this live, man. I got real deep today. I think this is something you should really see, seriously, honestly. But like I said, if you can forgive somebody, go back and forgive them while you can. If you can change a situation and change a narrative, change it while you can. Because I'm telling you, like I said before, this life that we have, that we're given by God, is a gift. You know how many people, let me tell you something, don't look at me weird for saying this and all that stuff, but people get active every day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My kids right here, so I'm trying to keep it PG, but people get active every day. And some of us, there's plenty of people that could be brought into this world and created, but only one of us make it into this world out of that situation. Sometimes it's more than one, because you got twins and triplets and all that, but it's usually one, if not three. You see what I'm saying? The point is, everybody don't get to be blessed to embrace this earth and this life that we have. We've been blessed to embrace this life for however long you've been here. Whether it's 20 years, 30 years, 45 years, it don't matter. You've been blessed to embrace this earth for as long as you have. So don't take it for granted. Because again, there's a lot of people who never get to embrace this life. You do. So appreciate it. Be thankful that you have it. Like I said, there's a lot of people who don't get to do the redo. Like I said, I'm going to tell it to y'all one more time like this. Before I get off this live, I'm going to say this one more time to y'all. A part that I said on this live earlier. This life is not a video game, okay? It's not like Super Mario. You know the dun, the dun, the dun, dun. When you start the game up, do, boom. And then you go play the biggest boss and all that. And then you go play browser and you lose. And you're like, dang, man, I lost. And you try to, and then you're like, all right, I could go do it again. Nah, you don't get to do that with this life. You don't get to go and face the biggest boss again. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to go and push the restart button or push the option of redo or start over. Once your life is over, it's over. That's it. There's no coming back. You don't get to go apologize to nobody. You don't get to try to make your job better. You don't get to try to figure out what you could have did better in life. You don't get to set goals. You don't get to see your family again. You don't get to hug your kids. You don't get to, be better husband, better wife, whatever the case may be. The point is you don't get to do nothing else. Once your time is up, your time is up. We're all given a clock when we enter this world. We're given a date to come and we're given a date to leave. Our job while we're here is to make the best of it while we're here. If you're put on this earth, God blessed you into this earth for a reason. Like I said, a lot of people don't get to embrace this life. So if you got to embrace this life and you got to live for however long you've been here, there's a reason that God had for you in store. This takes me back to when a while back when I did a couple lives back when my wife asked me to do it. Because I've been doing a couple lives here and there. But this takes me back to when I said something in one of those lives. I'm glad I just remembered this. When I sat there and said that we all have a purpose to serve. God put you here for a reason. I don't care if there's 100 million people in this world. You're here for in this world. I don't care if you're 100 million people. There's something in this world that you're supposed to do, okay? Everybody has something that they're supposed to do. Everybody has something they're supposed to do. There's something in this world that you're put here to do. I don't care if there's 100 million people. So that's why you're here. Make the best out your life while you're here. Figure out what your purpose is. Love people while you can. Who cares? Who cares if somebody has that same amount of love for you? As long as they don't have hatred, as long as they're not trying to harm you, still show them love. Stop trying to look for what's that word I'm looking for? What's that word? God, tell me what's that word? Right. Stop looking for gratification from people. Stop looking for people to sit there and try to tell you or sit there and give you some type of way to make you feel good. Like constantly just have to keep telling you, I love you, just for you to sit there and want to give them love back. If they don't do it, still say, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in life, what y'all don't realize is we get paid. The best way in life that we get rewarded and we get our blessings is by blessing others. If somebody ain't doing something for you, that don't mean you can't do for others. If somebody ain't giving you enough love, it's okay to still give them love. It's okay, like I said, to call people if they don't call you. Sometimes just be a bigger person and do it. Just be thankful and appreciative that you got to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. This is what I'm gonna leave y'all with, because I gotta get to my kids. Y'all can hear them running around, My wife, obviously, starting to feel better. Say hey, honey. Babe.
I'm looking for Andrew.
He went in the room.
Hi,
say hey.
Everyone. Hi.
She obviously feeling better. I'm glad, actually. Good thing, actually, that she feeling better. But like I said, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, man, and I'm gonna go ahead and get up off here. I gotta be a husband and get to my kids. My son home now. But listen, understand this. If you're going through darkness right now, and I'm gonna look right at y'all, because I take this very seriously, what I'm about to say. If you're going through darkness, if you're going through depression, please get help. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. Don't wait until it's too late. If you feel that shadow even coming, if you even feel like it's creeping up on you, get help. I don't care if you go to a therapist. I don't care if you go to a friend. Reach out to somebody that you can trust, okay? You can't always trust therapists, but it's better to talk to a therapist than to talk to nobody. You can't always trust a friend, because sometimes friends can be shady. But if you had that one friend who's never crossed you and you've been down with them for 30 years, there's nothing wrong with going to them about something like this. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. But there's nothing, there's nothing, or like Cool Gent. See, my man just said it. Cool Gent just said it. Or Christian therapist, anybody. There's nothing wrong with that. Go to church. If you can't trust a therapist, you can't trust a friend, or you just know that you can trust these people, but you're too egotistic to do it. Go to church. If you don't go to church, then talk to God. But please get help. Don't be like me and be where I've been. Don't wait until you're in that situation, because that's not a good situation. Everybody don't get as lucky as I did and get a sign from God. A lot of people been in that situation, they no longer here. Other than that, another thing that I want y'all to take with y'all is remember the word I can. No more excuses after y'all get off this live. Don't sit around, keep sitting there worrying about the birds you have in front of you or worrying about what you haven't done or what you ain't able to do. Start saying I can. I can is going to be the word when y'all leave off this live today. You will be successful. Keep saying I can.
Okay.
Love others even when it seems like others don't love you. Bless others even when others don't bless you. That's what I want to leave y'all with. Remember, at the end of the day, there is another side to everything. You will come out bigger and better. You can win the battle. You don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be lost. And you don't have to lose. Be a winner, not a loser. Knock them down like Mike. I love y'all. My name is Conscious. I want to thank y'all for joining with me. Those who stayed tuned in, those who didn't, those who did try to tune in, and those who was rocking with me. I appreciate it. Why does Jesus say pray for our enemies? Why does Jesus say pray for our enemies? Because God says pray for. That's a good question, actually. But like I said, I'm not, my wife is more of a prophet, but I'm gonna be real with you just from a real standpoint. I got time to answer this real quick. God say pray for our enemies because, like I said before, you're supposed to love others even when it seems like others don't love you. We pray for our enemies because even though we have enemies, it's like if we pray for our enemies, God work on people in different ways. So if we pray for our enemies, maybe we can help change their situation through prayer. Might not be overnight, but we could change their situation through prayer because they could become a better person and be better to somebody. That's why it's important to pray for enemies. And it's also important because and God always in the Bible, it always teaches about forgiveness. Forgiveness is very important. You have to forgive. That's why it's very important. God does not wish any to perish. Pray for their hearts to turn God. Nevertheless. Exactly. That's exactly what I just said. Right. To show the love of God. Exactly, Cool Jen. Thank you. That's exactly what I just said. That's what I just said. So to help make the world a better place. That's why. Because God is about forgiving. That is why he say pray for our enemies. But again, I would love to continue to go on and on. I wish I could. God got so much on me right now, but I think God, understands. I got to end this right now. I got to be here for my kids and spend time with my wife. But I love y'all. Y'all might see me again sometime. You know how I do it. Again, I'm Conscious. Thank you for taking time in to listen to me and hear what I have to say. If you did not hear this live today, make sure you go back, watch this live if you tuned in late. May God bless you mightily. Thank you, Conscious. Y'all welcome. Appreciate y'all. God bless y'all too. So if you didn't get a chance to watch this live, go back and watch it, please. If you and definitely show this to somebody. It's gonna save somebody. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm gone.